Alrighty. There it is. What's going on, world? Listen, man, I thought about wrapping it up because I had did a recording earlier, not too long ago. I'm gonna grab my water. I'm gonna grab my notepad, and let's just keep going, man. I can't waste the fit, basically. I could not waste the fit. I was like, bro, what are we doing? Just get situated. All right, here we go. So I got all my stuff right here. Oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? Got the bottle of water, refilled it earlier. Be right back. Let me grab the notepad here, man. I actually had some notes, and I was like, the thing about it was I wrote it down because I really wanted to speak about it for this episode. I guess this, not necessarily this specific number, because the one I did beforehand was actually a, what do you call this? Kind of an improv thing, you know, something that I had on my mind, and I was like, let's go for it, man. Let's go for it in the best way possible here. Here we are. So yeah, this thing that I originally wrote was actually meant for, let me pull out the pen here, for 215, but now I have to adjust it and make a 216. Cool, there we are. Got my 216 going. Now let me grab a marker real quick and let's get that on the board, man. The A world, you know, anyone that's here. I want to speak to you guys about a couple things. I know you can hear my voice, you can't see me, but just hear me out right now. We'll get back in camera view in a second. Let's get situated here. We did Navy last time. Let's stick with the Navy. Let's stick with the navy blue. Yeah, why not? All right. Sticking with the navy blue, I guess we're doing part 2. Can't waste the fit. Can't waste the fit. Can't waste no time. Because I know I got time to do things, or I have things I need to do today, take care of. So make sure I utilize the time here, man. For those that are hearing me, man, for the first time, second time, third time, whatever. Appreciate you guys always dropping in. Thank you guys for being here. Listen, bro, we are doing the Truancy Hour. That's what TTH stands for. 216. 216. 216. We are doing 216. Now, I want to speak about this because, you know, a lot of people validate themselves based off of having certain degrees, having certain certifications. I speak about this all the time because I want to expound on this thing that I like to call the university mindset. This is what I call it. This is what I call it by, excuse me. And I want to make it clear that, let's say you want to be a surgeon or something, you know, you want to be a surgeon or someone who does electrical work. Obviously, you don't want to do it. Well, electrical work is a little different, but surgical stuff, unless you're in like a third world country, right? If you're in a third world country, sure, I get it. You know, you got to do what you got to do. You understand? You have only a certain amount of resources available. You guys are going through some fucked up shit over there. So you got to sit there and do, what do you call this? Surgeries, you know what I'm saying? You got to do surgeries, surgical procedures, operations, or whatever. You got to do those things to make sure that, let me grab my notepad here, to make sure that everything is A-okay. You know what I mean? Non-surgical things or surgical things that require, you know, just a small amount of, hold on 1 second. Just want to make sure my notes are good. Make sure people are situated. You know, in war times, you might not be the most experienced surgeon, but you have to do what you have to do to take care of certain people and their bodies and stuff. You know? So I respect that. Here, get my adjustment here. As good as we'll get it. TTH 216, man. You know, people get certified. People get degrees for things. And a lot of times they need to get those things to get those, they need to get those certifications and degrees in order to get a higher pay, if not a job that finally qualifies them for someone who's valuable in their household, their family, or just to society. And a lot of people actually internalize that, and they actually feel that way. And the thing about it is, you can't neglect the times that you've just been a great human being. It doesn't matter if you were a young person sharing your candy with people. You could have been a young person sharing candy with somebody. You could have been someone who gave up your seat on the bus. You could be someone at the bus stop giving up your seat to someone that has crutches. It could be the smallest thing in life, but you can't forget that you are a certain type of human being and individual that has went through a certain level and threshold, a certain degree of things, if you will, in life that you have withstood, survived, and there's also a threshold and degree of things that you are no longer willing to deal with anymore. There's a degree of things in your life that you are no longer willing to deal with anymore. There's a degree of things in life that you have withstood and survive. I'm repeating this because I want you to understand this, that is a reason that you can certify yourself as a human being. That's one way you can certify yourself as a gentle soul, simply a soul of this planet, just simply a human being. I'm tired of people validating themselves based off of a higher wage. You understand? A higher wage, a better job, a better car, better clothes, things like that. All this stuff makes you feel good. All this stuff makes you feel accepted. All that stuff even lets you be seen and heard. That's the fucked up part about it, man. A lot of people sit there and listen to me when I sit there and I reek of success. It might look that way because I have a nice suit on. I just got a haircut. I just got the beard trimmed. We just got everything groomed. Certain smell, cologne, whatever, deodorant. But it means nothing compared to who you are at the core. You strip all that away. If I had to walk down the street naked, if we were all forced to do that, I would still be proud of myself. I wouldn't be too whatever. Some people cover themselves up. I get it. You're ashamed of who you are on the outside and the inside. You cover those things up, man. But I'm telling you, I'm introducing this university mindset. University mindset is basically just understanding that the university and the school of thought that you have went through personally is special to you. There's, some people, I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to my friend Mars. My friend Mars said this last week. They're speaking about drinking certain coffee and getting certain drinks in the morning and at night. And they're like, yeah, I'm just happy I'm not a basic white bitch. I'm happy I'm not a basic white boy. Like the way they explained it cracked me up. I was like, wait a minute. It's cool if you say it, but I get what you're saying. So unless you're like a basic ass person that live in that basic ass suburb life, sometimes a lot, but even then, everything's very personal, man. Everything, not everything's cookie cutter, cut and dry type shit. A lot of things ain't really like that. Not necessarily. I believe that we all have our own personal human experiences. I mean, you might be living in a basic ass household where you're learning basic ass English, math, all that stuff, and all these things. You get what I'm trying to say, man. You might be learning all that basic shit, watching basic cable, but you still have your personal experience and your personal spirit and soul, whatever that might be attached or rooted to. And you got to start accessing that and start being honest with yourself about it. Some people are supposed chosen ones. Some people are just a little more special. I'm not here to really sit there and try to ask and figure out who's who. I'm not even saying I'm in that category. I'm just saying that I just recognize that there's a lot of people that sit there, go to colleges or go to whatever. And check this out, man. We right here on, you know what I'm saying? When I speak about this university mindset, we still out here tapped in with the university campuses, spaces, and places. We in here right now. And the thing is, even though I have access to this, sometimes I be in a technical, certain type of mindset. I'll be in a technical mindset. I'll be in a certain type of mindset. I'll be on one. I'll be on a good one, etc. But that's just me dealing with it alone. But the type of person I've been, man, it's like I got all this wisdom and this energy flowing through me, man. What am I do with it? What I'm gonna do with it? I gotta impart some of that wisdom or some of that food for thought out loud. I gotta put it into the universe in form of content, if not just saying it out loud. Whether it be, I don't care if I'm with someone at the bus stop or just someone right outside the campus. But we on campus right now, university spaces, places, etc. But here we are taking the same energy that you walk into, walk past. I come in looking a little dapper, a little extra sometimes, and then they know who I am. A lot of security guards, well, that's whoop-de-wop. He be using the room. He be talking loud in there and shit. He got the mic set up. He got the boom laptop on the side. You know what I mean? So they know me. But I want to impart that same energy and wisdom here, man. Or excuse me, that I get here out into the universe, if not to the world, by doing these. And a lot of that is not going to make sense to a lot of people, but hopefully makes sense to y'all, man. That's what I'm saying, man. When I get to this university mindset stuff, I'm just trying to impart that same university feeling that I get when I'm on campus to y'all. Hopefully it makes sense. And it might not now, but sometimes, down the line, some people be finding shit like years later or whatever. Some people be looking at them, whatever, and they just find it. Some people look at the picture, some people look at the whatever, the title, and they find it. But that's the university mindset, is I want people to start validating and certifying themselves as human beings, as souls on this planet, as just people of this world, just decent people. Start validating yourself, man. Stop valuing yourself based off a number. How much is in your checkings and savings? How much you can spend? How much you've spent before? How much you spent on a person or you've done for somebody? It's more about, exactly who you are, because you might not be that person anymore. A lot of that stuff might not be valuable to you anymore. Spending the money, looking like you have it, taking care of someone, burying people, and then maybe in the future you're like, I don't want to go through the hassle of being the only person that's burying someone again. Just simple stuff like that. You don't want to necessarily be who you used to be, but a lot of times you're valued about who you used to be. Just remember, university mindset, for lack of a better term, and not to say lacking in a bad way, but just for lack of a better term. Start understanding the school and the school of thought and the school of hard knocks that you understand the most, understand the best. I don't care how you've lived. That's all I'm trying to say with university mindset, man. Hey, man, there it is, bro. What else can I say, man? We got the mic attached. We got the new microphone too. I don't know if y'all know I got the new microphone because was it like last week? Shit was a little funky. We're back on track right now. We're gonna stay focused, stay a little dry, whatever. If we need to go back outside when it's raining, I'm gonna sit there and get the different mic set up. We'll see what I need to do. But right now, we got a good mic setup when we're indoors. Here's how we're gonna start it, man. University mindset, we covered that. Now let's talk about honor amongst thieves. The honor amongst thieves, man. It's an interesting concept because, I'll be honest with you, man. I almost went down the path of thievery, but I never really became a thief. I don't think I'd be a good thief, man. I'll be honest with you because I'm the type of person, if I really wanted something, I might take it right in front of you and just tell you that I might just tell you that I took it. That ain't being a rat. I'm just be like, I'm taking this right here. That's mine right now. Oh, I'm just taking that right here. I'm taking this right now. I might have to just tell you and just go ahead and do it. But I want to talk about honor amongst thieves, man, because a lot of times, man, if you're, I'll tell you like this, people be doing shit and it's just like they don't have much honor amongst them. This is where the rat stuff starts to come into play, the rats and the snitches stuff. They say snitches get stitches, but I don't think a lot of snitches are getting stitches lately. You know what I mean? Because it's just sitting there like it'll cost you your own life and your own livelihood by dealing with a rat who's willing to run to the police and snitch on you because they know you're dangerous. People will run with you, take the money, live it up for a little bit, realize it's not for them, start telling everything. But check this out, man. We got to make this clear for people. A lot of people don't understand this. If you see a crime being done, or if you're asked about a specific crime by the police or like security at a certain place, and you have nothing to do with it, key words, you have nothing to do with it. That doesn't make you a snitch. That doesn't make you a rat. You're just someone who has surveyed something that you shouldn't have been surveying. You had seen something, witnessed something that you shouldn't have been seeing. And you know what? That even speaks to the crimes and the people doing the crimes. It either says that they're sloppy or they're very in the open and don't give a fuck. Some criminals do not care. Some criminals will sit there and just fuck someone's whole day up as long as they get what they need to get done. Let's be honest about it. I'm not no criminal investigator. I'm not no criminal empathizer. I'm just telling you the truth here. Some people will just sit there and do some shit in front of you and not give a fuck at all. The same way, if I ever had to rob somebody, I might just take it in front of you and be like, what we gonna do? I'm taking this shit. But that's why I don't go down that path because I'm like, that can't be me, man. That's some foul shit. I ain't trying to be on no foul shit. So that's my thing, man. If you sat there, you witnessed some shit, you're asked some questions about it, you have every right to say what the fuck you might want to say. I don't necessarily judge you, but I don't have to be around that if I don't want to be around that, depending on how you say it. Like if you're the type of person like, I saw this, then the third, and he was with me. If you start dragging me into this shit, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Don't drag me into this shit. I didn't see shit. Don't start dragging me into it. I don't care if we both actually saw it. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? I'm one of those. Don't fucking bring my name up. Shut the fuck up. How about that? When you're around me, just shut the fuck up. I didn't see shit. You know what I mean? Because like, the thing is, if the police had asked me some shit, I'd be like, man, I don't fucking know. I'm just walking home. I've been harassed by police asking me about shit, crime in the neighborhood. Like, bro, you see me walking fucking home. You could check my address and my ID. I live right there. That's why I'm walking this linear path right here. There have been some times I might have seen some shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. There might have been some times I seen some shit. I literally seen some shit one time. I'm not gonna say what it was. I was like, damn. I just started walking home. I just walked past these other people that looked at it too. We just looked at each other, nodded our heads. We just started walking away casually. Like, nope. I ain't see shit. I started walking home, man. I'm walking down the street to my house. Cops is over here, woo, 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 all up in my area. Motherfuckers start, they saw me. They whip. I'm walking. I'm walking this way. Cops go behind me. I see like a bright light. I'm like, what the fuck? Bright light in the back of my head. Pause. I'm sitting there looking around. How the hell they just zoomed past? It was like a cop car with a giant light. I keep walking down. By the end of the block, they spun around because I'm walking through alleyway. Because I got to walk through alleyway to go home. 4 ways, you know what I mean? There's 4 ways to enter my house, and there's 4 alleyways to walk through to get to my house, literally. So it depends on which side of the street I'm on. But I'm walking through the alleyway to get to my house. They just whipped around, flashed the beam on me. I can't see shit. They're like, sir, they're on the intercom. Sir, did you see something? Like, where are you coming from? I was like, I'm coming from, I just named a little spot. It was like, did you see anything? Did you whatever? And just asked me this question. I was like, I don't know. My headphones are in. I've just been listening to music. It's like, did you see anything? I was like, I don't know. I just heard something over there, like some boom or something. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. The direction I pointed was the opposite direction. I was like, I didn't see shit. I didn't see shit, bro. I don't know. I heard some booming over here. I don't know. Start making some shit up. But I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Ben, back to honor amongst thieves, man. Honor amongst the hood. You already know what it is. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know what the fuck I just saw. So, like, let me run back the story. I'm kind of telling on myself. I don't give a fuck because that shit is like over and done with, man. That's some years ago type shit when this shit happened. Soon as they started flashing the lights on me, I'm like, what the hell? I turned around, I'm like, oh shit, because I don't know, I might have had the hoodie on. So then what I started doing, because I knew the cops were gonna circle the block, right? I started pulling out my headphones. This is when we had the wired headphones. I started pulling them shits out hella quick. I put them on, put them, down the fucking what do you call this? Inside my shirt collar. I just whipped it down, put it in my phone. I started turning on some music. I put on some Kanye or something funny. I started playing some Kanye West, bro. Ain't no hood dude rocking, playing no Kanye West. They're like, what you listening to? I'm just listening to some Kanye. Oh yeah, ain't no thug listening to Kanye. That's how they're gonna treat me. So that's what I had to do. I had to make sure all my whatever. So that's why I said when they spin around the block, flash a light on me. I was like, what? I slowly was like taking on my headphones, like, what? Excuse me, what? Like doing some shit like that. I'm a goofball. Honor amongst thieves, man. So yeah, but that's the other aspect, man. Like if you just out here doing crimes and shit, and then you tell on people that you're doing the crimes with, yeah, you a fucking rat. You a snitch. So that's why there's a certain person in my life. Like I stopped talking to him because he literally told me that he literally said he was telling me a story about some old shit. He was talking about how snitching is overrated or something. I was like, what do you mean by that? He said, yeah, man. I remember back in the day when me and Whoopty Wop was over there hitting licks on houses. That means he was robbing houses and shit. He said we was over here robbing houses, and when we both got arrested, um, the officers were like, oh, so and so's in another room telling. He's over here telling the whole story. Like when I found that out, that's when I just started telling him everything. I was like, oh man, he telling. I'm gonna just tell him the whole thing then too. And when I heard that, I was like, like, where is the honor in that? Where is the honor in just like simply, like just standing your ground? Like I ain't, he might be talking, but I ain't got shit to say. And that's part one. So and so might be talking about you, and that motherfucker just talking, running his mouth, chatting it up like a bitch. But that don't mean you stoop to his level, start acting like a bitch, and start running your mouth too. You understand? That don't mean you start doing that. Here's part two. That's the oldest trick in the book, man. Police officers have been doing that since forever. Police officers have been sitting there like, hey man, your boy's telling. It's like, oh, he telling? Damn, I got some shit to say. You know what I'm saying? So right or wrong, that's what I'm saying. That's why that was step one. If he being a bitch and he telling, that don't mean you start bitching and telling. Plain and simple. Oh, but all that shit, man. Oh, he on some but shit. I'm on some, man. Plead the fifth. Fuck all that shit. Let's tell the truth about it. That's the oldest trick in the book, man. Hey, man, your boy's telling. Now they got everybody telling. Now they got everybody saying some shit. Oldest trick in the book. But again, that's what happens to kids, man. Kids that are on the autistic spectrum that are in the streets. A lot of times, see, in more recent times, a lot of people are more diagnosed, and you can kind of self-diagnose and see the signs in certain people and see like, oh, this motherfucker. Back then, they used to just say certain people were retarded. You can't say that shit no more. Now you gotta say people are on like they're mentally slow, they're on the spectrum or whatever. So a lot of kids who are actually like on the autistic spectrum and they struggled with like math or reading and words and dyslexia and shit like that, a lot of them people, they would get taken advantage of by the police. So it's like, where is the empathy? That's what I'm saying. When we have this honor amongst thieves thing, it's like whether it's a street level, a hood level, a neighborhood level in general, or just like black and brown people looking out for each other. It's like, yo, we gotta have a little more empathy now. Where it's like, hey man, don't let this motherfucker get involved in shit. Don't let this motherfucker start gangbanging because he can't even reach shit anyway. You understand? You let this motherfucker be a Pyru, man. He can't even spell Pyru. That motherfucker retarded for real. I'm not even trying to be funny. If you from the cloth, you know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying, bro. Shout out to all my folks I grew up with, man. All the people that was folk related, all the people that was folks, man. You gonna let a motherfucker become a disciple growing up? He can't even spell the shit. You let that motherfucker spell disciple, he gonna accidentally spell despicable. You can be like, yo, you retarded? Look at this motherfucker retarded? Nah, man, he just so used to watching like Disney Pixar bullshit. He don't know what the fuck he writing. Some people just not supposed to be in the streets, man. And you as OGs or people that are older gotta be like, this motherfucker on the spectrum clearly, and you gonna let him hold a gun. This motherfucker on the spectrum clearly, you gonna let him run up in a house or just start hitting licks and doing the whoop wop. Hell no, fuck all that, man. Let this motherfucker sit down and be a student. The motherfucker's so stupid he need to start getting smart. Some motherfuckers be so dumb they need to start getting smart. Leave them kids alone, man. When I say honor amongst thieves, man, we gotta start robbing each other. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying motherfuckers from the street are just doing hood shit. Like I ain't really in that category like that. I'm just associated by, I'm guilty by association. It's fucked up, but I'm guilty by association. So it's just like that's why I'd be like, what did the whoop wop be? Whoa, the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We used to say all type of weird, crazy shit. We still be saying it to this day, man. I'm dying over here. I need some water. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So that's my thing is like, if you know them kids are stupid, keep them stupid. That's the fucked up part, man. Is what kind of OG gonna recruit a stupid motherfucker in the set or whatever? It's like that's how you know that these people. That's but that's some all American shit. You know what I mean? Because you got dumb motherfuckers. Hold on, man. We still on? Yeah, we still on. We got dumb motherfuckers. I gotta check the green light right here. Damn. Hold on. We got dumb motherfuckers that be what do you call this? What do you call that shit? In the army. We got dumbass motherfuckers in the American army. They just be trying to get them young. Like, hey, get their dumbasses when they're 15, 16. Get the junior joint going on, a little junior shit. And then when they're 18, you get them out there. Maybe they could do like a tour or a service or whatever over in Middle East. You start traumatizing these kids, but they so dumb that they don't realize they're being traumatized. They get so used to like, yeah, I can't wait to kill some brown bodies. Some motherfuckers be out there doing that shit. Some of these dumbass white people from little dumbass little small areas that aren't like major cities, they can't wait to kill some brown people. They think they're doing something for the country by killing someone that don't look white. That's the shit they want to do, bro. And they recruit dumb motherfuckers. So the hood is the same way. We're so fucked up, bro, with the institutionalized, internalized racism where we be hating on each other so much. When we see another black or brown body, we be like, tensed up, ready to just rah, all this shit. You know what I mean? We ready with the bullshit all the time. Because we can't look at each other and see like a brother, man, unless it's your actual brother or cousin. You can't really look at somebody. And even then, people be playing too much, talking crazy to each other, talking crazy to your own siblings, talking crazy to your own family members. There's not too much love there. Ain't too much self-love there either, man. So we be sitting there beefing and fighting with each other all the time, man. When it says honor amongst thieves, we got to start having honor amongst colors, man. Honor amongst cultures, honor amongst neighborhoods, honor amongst zip codes, man. Honor in the zip code. Just be like, yo, someone, you know what I'm saying? Because we had dudes in our neighborhood, they was the illest hustlers, man, for like decades straight. At least 2 decades straight. They was the illest hustlers, some of the illest gang members ever for like a 15, 20-year run, damn near. Because they was just deep in their little spot and pocket. And then it wasn't letting nobody fuck with them. They even like damn near went to war with the Panthers and shit. Shit like that, man. If they wasn't, partnered up with some of them, they would just, beefing with them too. That's how much money and drugs that they was really pushing like that. I don't know if that's necessarily props or not, but these motherfuckers was really doing their thing. But they was doing it to the point where like everything that was coming in and out, even us, even their own neighbors sometimes, man, they would just sit there and press us like we was the problem. I was like, bro, we just living and existing here, man. They was pressing us to the point where I realized people started losing their way. Everyone in the area was like, you know what, man, fuck them motherfuckers, bro. They would still live where they live, but they start clicking up with sets in the surrounding area. And if they weren't doing sets in the surrounding area, they went to the straight up rival hood south. Them motherfuckers start going south and start clicking up with these motherfuckers and just beefing because they had intel. But that's what it is, man. When you start getting in position and you have that power, but you're using that power to bully people, it's like, yo, you gotta really just like, you gotta understand the people who are using the power to bully people, them motherfuckers is retarded. Them motherfuckers is stupid as shit. You got some gang members, you got some people in your fucking whole set and faction, bro. You got these motherfuckers that really ain't shit and they don't know how to conduct themselves with a way of a gentleman or just a way of a G, like a true G. Just walking outside beefing and fucking with everybody. You got the dumbest people in the set over here pressing people. It's like you pressing the wrong people. These are just working class people. You got people that are working class people. You understand? Honor amongst these, man. These people ain't even in the game like that. Then people ain't even in the game like that. They ain't got no work on them. They ain't making no money in the streets. And you fucking with people. Get the fuck out of it. These are some hard-working people. And you fucking with them. This is where the shit gets fucked up, man. A lot of OGs, you know what I'm saying? A lot of OGs will tell you, like, we used to just fuck with people that was with the bullshit. That was with the business. You don't fuck with these working class people. You don't do that shit. You don't fuck with normal everyday people. This is someone going to school. Teachers don't get paid enough. Now you're going to start robbing the teachers? Motherfuckers ain't shit. So fuck the hood, fuck the streets. If this is what it ends up becoming, because, the thing is everyone gets recruited. There's people who look normal, but they're really beyond the spectrum, and them motherfuckers get recruited type shit. There's people who look normal. They seem normal. They seem normal to you because you stupid too. You a stupid motherfucker thinking other stupid motherfuckers is normal. You start putting them on. Who the fuck put you in charge? Now the whole shit fucked up. Now we got a whole bunch of slew of stupid ass people that's in charge of drugs and money. What the fuck is this? Honor amongst thieves. I need some water, man. I'm getting passionate about some dumbass shit. This is how it be though, man. This is how the streets be fucked up sometimes. What they say, the lead, what the fuck, the blind lead the blind, or whatever the fuck. Fuck that dumb shit. Let me eat that shit. All right, I think we back on. Let me check my numbers. Man. We good. Oh boy, I'm over here coughing, talking about some dumbasses. All right, man. Might need some more water. Ooh. Let's talk about it. Sports stars and actors, man. Sports stars and actors. They'll do each other wrong, but they can afford mercenaries. These motherfuckers talk to each other dirty on the internet, at the red carpet, at the bar, the club. And they got money to afford mercenaries, dog. These dudes got money. They be doing weird shit. Low key, man, that's between them. You got guys making millions at a time, fucking with the little man. That happens sometimes too. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go around the. Gotta find this shit. And they don't got nothing for me. It's over. We gotta power through. I should have blew my nose earlier. Hold on, I can see if I got something. I got nothing. Check this out, man. These guys can afford mercenaries. They got millions of dollars coming in at a time. You know what I mean? That shit crazy. Where I draw the line is you start seeing people on that level fucking with the little man, the working class. You know? Where I'm okay with it as you got sports stars, actors, musicians, guys that don't need to be doing no street shit, doing shit on a low level. They don't need to do that shit. They start reducing themselves. To that level. Hey, man, it's all fair game at that point. Honor amongst thieves, so they say. You want to start acting like that? Okay, you playing in that field now. You got sports stars acting like they're from the hood, doing some extra shit. Oh yeah, you green lit now. It's all green light on you now. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what ends up happening. You understand? Let me hit the pause right here. Man, I had to refill the water bottle. I grabbed me a gang of napkins. Tissues. Because the thing is, when I get a little phlegmed up or sick, extra mucus and it's kind of TMI. Extra mucus and phlegm will sit there and build up. It goes through the palate and then towards the mouth. Pause. So got to take care of your health, man. That's my health be fucked up like that. Might be some genetical shit, whatever. Hold on, man. I got water on the paper. I have to refill the water bottle, man. Sports stars and actors, man, sit there and try to, they'll go below themselves. You're already up there. Some of them come from a street life, so I get it. Don't get me wrong, I understand it. But here you are, turning yourself into a street dude. You ain't got to do that. You're already making millions, if not hundreds of thousands at a time doing sports. And you want to sit there and mess around with people on a street level. You want to sit there and play around like that. That's backwards to me. But if you want to play in that level, understand what comes with it. You want to finally make millions from the industry, from entertainment, from sports or whatever you want to do, endorsements and all that shit, and you want to reduce yourself to a form of someone who's trying to get it out the mud, you're fair game to them. Them motherfuckers want to eat you up, pause, man. They'll go for it, and I ain't mad at it. So be careful with that shit. If you're making yourself some money, you know what I mean, in the best way possible. I don't care if you're a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, you want to dabble some street shit, get ready for some shit. You understand? Matter of fact, if you watch The Wire, the biggest gangster on that show was fucking I forgot the dude's name, the Jewish lawyer. There's a Jewish lawyer that he didn't even have to stick nobody up. He was just straight up making money off everybody. He was doing everybody right, but he made money off of everybody. Pause, man. That's crazy. He looked out for them though. He let them know what it was. He let them know the years. He let them know what was necessary. It's crazy. That's life, man. That's the game, ain't it? But you fair game to the sharks if you want to swim with them. It's that simple, man. You fair game to the sharks if you want to. You motherfuckers want to swim with them and pretend like they got fins too. Motherfuckers just buy a fin. This was crazy. Motherfuckers will sit there and buy a fin. You really ain't Jaws like that, bruh. All right, man. Now, in this regard, actual criminals carrying a respect for each other's space and peace. Actual criminals carrying a respect for each other's space and peace. Now, I like to be the guy that sits there and says, I remember when things were like this. I remember when days were like this. I mean, I think in some places, in some pockets, in some spaces, it still is. But, you know, a lot of times, whether it be the influence of music, a lot of times some of the best music and the most influential music is someone at their lowest low. And a lot of that shit gets advertised and pushed to the front, to the top of the charts, if you will. A lot of that stuff gets pushed forward, pushed up. I don't know. I kind of draw the line there. That's just me personally. I kind of draw the line there. But at the same time, it's like, I understand. Like, I get it. I get it because it's like, what can you do, man? What can you truly do about that? You know, we're not really in the industry. If anything, you could start to become someone that's in the industry, but by then they'll sit there and try to, like, you know, who the fuck knows, man? They keep moving the goalposts. People, you know, the little snakes and shit, the motherfuckers keep moving away, but they know what they're doing. The point I'm making is that some of the music, you listen to some music sometimes, man, especially like with hip hop, I hate to say it, but just all the different forms and branches of hip hop, some of the lowest forms and someone's like actual agony of someone just explaining the shit that they go through, why they would rob someone, why they would kill someone on a certain level or to like a certain degree, why they would do that. And that's my favorite type of music. I'll be honest with you. That's my favorite kind of music. Cause you know, I get it. Like I understand. I empathize with someone who feels that way, but it would rather say it through the music or put it in music than actually do it. It's fucked up. Is like with some kids, again, they can't really process things. So that's the crazy part. Like they'll sit there and act like this is something that they need to do. They need to act and operate in this way because the person who's saying it is validated and real, and they actually did time, and they've shot people before. All these etceteras that may or may not be unnecessary, or may or may not be necessary. I don't know. Yeah, you know, who am I to say? Because a lot of like I can't act like, you know what I mean. I can't act like I'm a victim of this music. I can't act like I'm against it, and I'm a big fan of this shit. You know, I'm numb to this shit. Like it is. I like that shit. Sometimes I agree with the mindset. I just don't ever want to be in them situations. Does that make sense? I agree with the mindset of having to fuck someone up, but I try to get myself out of them situations. You know, I said this shit in the last video, man. I get them early dismissals out of negative shit. I said this back in 215. I said, in Truancy hour 215, I said, I'm gonna take them early dismissals out of a situation that's either disrespectful or just even if it's uncomfortable. I'm getting out of that shit. Fuck all that. To find some self-love within myself. Plain and simple, man. Actual criminals carrying a respect for each other's space and peace. You know, I will say, like back in the, you know, back then it was what it was, man. Yeah, some people that sat there and it's like, man, I know the bullshit he's doing. I know what he's on. I know what you know. I know what et cetera is. I know what he's doing. They leave them people alone, man, and they, you know, because they left people alone, they left them other people alone too. You stick your nose into my business, man. Now everything about you becomes my business. That's what happens sometimes, man. And we ain't bothering nobody. Sometimes we just not bothering nobody. We don't want to be bothered. But why you stepping into our realm with that shit? That's why sometimes OG's got to have a sit down at the table, really bring some people together, sit down at the table, like, hey man, what we doing here? Why are we doing it? What we doing? Let's talk about that. What we doing and why we doing it? Let's talk about that. Doesn't get talked about enough. Doesn't even get talked through enough. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really happen. A lot of times someone who's doing criminal activities will sit there and be like, you know, I understand that this motherfucker got a daughter. I understand that this motherfucker got kids. I understand all the et ceteras. I understand what they're going through. I understand what they got in their household and their area. I understand what they're doing. I'm not gonna stop him from getting money, but if he come around my way with that shit, we're dealing with him and him personally. No kids, no wives, no women involved, all that shit. And that's what happens sometimes, man. You know, a bitch try to get involved in the streets, man. She over here, she lady this, she lady that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you in the streets now? It's fair game. Boom, you getting clapped. Maybe even double. Maybe even double time. And that's just the honor amongst these, man. That's just the respect aspect. That's the honor. That's the respect between certain faction sets and people. It's not necessarily upheld. It might be followed to your T. You can follow your own rules to a T. You understand? You can follow your own principles to a T. You can, you know, whatever. But like I said, man, this is my final note right here. All I said is there are no rules. Remember that. At the end of the day, there are no rules. Remember that. So when you over here dabbling in some crazy shit where things can get crazier, think about that. There's never no time for a conversation. That's what I really should have wrote. There's never no time for a conversation. There's never no time to sit there and conversate with your enemies. There's never no time to sit there and conversate with people and sit there and ask them like, hey man, this is how I conduct my shit. I don't do this, that, and the third. So I expect the same from you when we're beefing. There ain't no time for them conversations, and they'll never be had. So when I tell you there's no rules, man, some people will do whatever the fuck they want with you. Think about it, man. You might be sitting there drug dealing and shit, and you might have a thing where it's like, all right, if the bitch come around me with a pregnant bump on her stomach talking about she wants drugs, fuck that. Tell her to go away. I ain't serving her shit. Some people think that way. Like, I ain't serving the pregnant lady nothing. Some people like, I need the money. I don't give a fuck. Come here. Give me my 10s, give me my 20s, whatever. I don't know shit about drugs. I don't know shit about drugs. I'm just making up numbers. I don't know shit about drugs. I'm just making up numbers. Fuck that bitch. Just whatever. Let her come over here. We'll just serve her some shit. You know this motherfucker's a crackhead. You know he got 5 kids he need to be dealing with, but whatever. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here. Go be a dad. Get the fuck out of here. This dude's on his last legs. This dude, you know, you might even know a crackhead who was in NA, Narcotics Anonymous Therapy. The motherfucker was sitting there in them sessions, over here doing like an hour here, half an hour there, whatever the fuck. He's over here doing that shit, and he's good for like 100 days, and he come around like, damn, just give me my normal fix, whatever the fuck he says. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know shit about drugs. I don't know shit about the streets, whatever. You might be sitting there asking him questions, and then somebody might be like, you know what, man, the motherfucker 100 days clean. Leave that mother. Fuck this dude, man. We don't need his money. We'll get some other money another way. Fuck this shit. You might be the person that stands on principle. Hopefully you are. And as you know, you might have the next person like, man, fuck that. He's 100 days, man. He's gonna have to do another 100 days. Come here, give you my 10, give you my 20. It's like that. It's like that sometimes, man. There are no fucking rules. This is why shit's fucked up, because people don't have a certain set of principles within themselves to conduct certain things with, and also they're not, and even if they are, they're not in a position of power to enforce that. And when they were, and when it was happening that way, when they were, them motherfuckers was treated like OGs, and when they were recognized as OGs, they were targeted and arrested and taken out and away from the young boys that needed them. That's the deeper conversation that doesn't get talked about. So who you are, you need to be who you are to who is there, who is necessary, and in this moment in time right now. You need to talk to the motherfuckers right now. Stop waiting for people to grow up. If this motherfucker's stupid, he don't get it, beat it into his head. If not, tell him what he needs to know right now. That's the best way for some of these young men to receive some shit. You got to elbow these motherfuckers hard as shit just for them to really learn and be like, don't be out here with this bullshit. Stop this bullshit. I'm telling you, man, when I was boxing and I was doing some shit, I had terrible grades, but I was boxing. We were like, get the fuck out of here and go to the gym. It's after school. Fuck this after school shit. Go to the gym. I was like, all right, you're right. I'm going to go to the gym. I wasn't even doing nothing. I was just around. I was just making sure my friends didn't get jumped, making sure my friends didn't get beat up or whatever. That's it. That's what I was looking out for the homies. And even the homies like, man, we'd be all right. Fuck that. Go to the gym. Like, why don't you be outside? I was like, man, I'd be going to the gym. Why don't you be coming to these events? Why don't you do this? I said, I'd be at the gym. People older than us told me to go to the gym. What would you want me to say? So I was fortunate. Like I said, I had people around me that would just kept me out of trouble, kept me out the way, like stay out of this shit. And they would remind me, they'd be like, man, you doing that shit? You doing some good shit. Where are them people, man? I always remind people, I'd be telling young people, keep doing that good shit. You doing dumb shit, I gotta smack the fuck out you. If you try to reduce yourself to any level close to mine or wherever I came from and the shit that I understand, I gotta fuck you up. It's that simple. You gotta start being the uncle. You gotta start being like me, Uncle James type shit. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I'm gonna have to fuck you up. It's like we sat here and had a conversation about you doing something positive, you doing something good, doing something different than the dumbass shit around us that we're used to. And you want to sit there and do it like you didn't have other options? I gotta fuck you up now. Because it's all fair game. Motherfuckers want to throw on fins like they're really sharks out here. You're really not like that. You're really not like that. Get fucked up. Don't let me find out. That shit crazy. Every time I look out the window, I be seeing that shit. I don't know, man. I might be saying a little too much. I'm gonna be talking a little too much, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Let me close it like this, man. I'm gonna close it like I usually do. Hold on, man. What time we at? We're good on time, man. I'm gonna close it like I usually do. I'm gonna say right here, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. But let me get real specific, man. I ain't a street dude, man. You know what I'm saying? You can look up my name and shit. I ain't got no record, got nothing. I'm part of none of that shit. I got tattoos. I ain't got no gang tattoos. Shit, I got Cardi B on my chest. I'm a goofball like that. I got some Filipino shit on my arms. It's all history. It's some astrological shit. It's these patterns that deal with stuff. I got the astrological planets of my mom and dad and their, zodiac signs. I'm with that zodiac shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that type of shit. You know what I mean? I got the historical shit. I got a bulldog because I went to high school and elementary. That mascot was bulldogs. Man, we bulldogging out here. That's it. I'm just guilty by association. I got friends, you know what I mean, that just, like I said, and like my friends that sat there and was in and out of jail, they embrace me the most every time I see them. It's the craziest shit. Every time I see them dudes, man, they got the most love for me every time I see them. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. People that was just like me, man, staying out the way, keeping their nose clean, etc. The motherfuckers ain't got no love for me. I don't know what that is. I can't even tell you what that is, man. They ain't got no time, energy, and space for me. So that's when I really started to understand the divide here. It's like if you a little bit too much one way, it don't matter if you're doing, I'm a hybrid type of person, man. See the way that the Doom rugby is split in half? I'm that type of person, man. It's less about scholastics and streets. It's just more about spirituality and streets, man. All that shit one to me. If you ask me, all that shit is one. And I see all of it, man. I see the smartness, I see the kindness, I see the greatness. And some of these street dudes that sat there and got arrested and weren't really being nurtured and really cared for. I see the goodness in these people as much as I see like the tenacity of someone who's very scholastic or tenacity of someone who's spiritual and just only wants to endeavor in that realm. You understand? The way that a street person walks around with a level of tenacity and confidence, I see that shit in some of these spiritual people who are super positive. They just only go that way. Some of these activists that only do positive shit that way. I see the combination of it. I'm just a combination and culmination of all that shit. So don't ever put me in any kind of box. Ever. This is just me talking about me. This is just me self-loving me. I'm saying that out loud and making it clear for the world and letting y'all know. But at the same time, I'm telling you this, man. I don't know nothing. All right. I don't know none of that shit. I had never seen drugs in my life. The only time I seen drugs in my life, I had one friend, goofy ass dude. He had like a little baggie, and then he would just scoop out a little white powder with a key, and he would start sniffing it. Now I don't know if he was playing with me. I don't know what the fuck I was looking at. All he said was, "Don't judge me, man. I just blah blah blah." He was saying some shit. And I was like, "Listen, man, just take care of yourself." I don't know what the hell I told him. I was like, "Take care of yourself, or just be careful, man. I won't judge you. Just be careful." I don't know what the fuck. He might have been joking. He might have been trolling me. Like I said, I never seen that shit in my life. I don't know nothing, man. Only money I made from like flipping and like whatever hustling was eBay. I'm an eBay guy. That's it. That's it. I just did eBay. I just had shit I already bought and I flip it on eBay and stocks. That's all I do. So my hands is clean. But anyway, I just want to make that clear. Hey man, love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace, man. You already know what time it is. Appreciate you guys checking in with these Truancy. This is what 216 right there. 216, man. There we go. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.